Hey, welcome back, friend. My name is Kris Krohn, and today we're talking about 401ks and what it looks like to maneuver that money into real estate. I've moved tens of millions of dollars into real estate from 401ks, IRAs, other qualified accounts, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 options of what you need to know about 401ks. Can you put it into real estate? What types of real estate? What's really possible for you?
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So for those of you that are new to the game, 401k is probably one of the most popular concepts of a retirement account that businesses are using these days. Originally, we all had farms and it was all a very agrarian society. And today we've moved ourselves off of our farms and we've been lulled into the workforce after the Industrial Revolution with our own self-built pensions. And what companies will do is they say, hey, if you work for us, we'll actually give you a match on your 401k. And it's a way for them to retain an employee longer. And it's a way for you to feel like you're building something towards retirement. And in very few cases, it actually is. My personal experience, though, having actually interviewed over 10,000 hardworking Americans that have put their money in 401ks, that have been doing that for sometimes 10, 20, or 30 years, is that when you get to the end, guess what the math really looks like? Simple, not enough. So that might be one of the reasons why you're watching today's video, because you actually want to know, what are my options with my 401k? Because I'm starting to do the math and I'm realizing that I'm contributing and I've maxed out my company match, but it's not getting me where I want to go. Before I can give you your 3 options, I want to just give you a little bit of pattern interrupt, something a little uncomfortable perhaps, on something that I feel like you really need to know and understand. The match feels good, but if it's not enough to reach your goals, then does it matter? Well, more money is more money. Yeah, but not inside of a broken system that you've done the math and you already know it can't be enough to get you where you want to go. So the question is, does that match actually make sense if in the end it's taking all of your available money and locking it up and it's not going to be what you need it to be? This is what has got to get you thinking a little bit about, what are my options? You see, take it from me, a guy who's done 4,000 homes in the real estate arena, never contributed money to a 401k or IRA because I already knew that the math was broken. I already knew that at the rate of 401k earns, tied to the market and every 10 years hitting the cycle, that at the end of the day, and especially depending on when your retirement is, you have no idea how to time that market, when that thing's gonna crash on you. And the average person's got like 50 grand in their 401k after all their working years. Maybe you got 100 grand. Maybe you have $500,000. But will $500,000 be enough for retirement? That better not be your only plan, because for most of us, like 99.9% of us, it's not going to be enough. So let's talk about what some of your options are with your 401k. The first thing that I want to do is I need to help you understand a couple of basics so you can self-diagnose in this video what your options are. Because in the game of real estate, if I help you buy 20 homes and you're now making $10,000 a month residually, you might not need that job anymore. But you're going to need some seed capital to make that happen, whether yours or somebody else's. A 401k is a perfect place to look for real estate seed capital. So here's the first one. You have what's called a rollover 401k. Rollover means that 401k was built at a different company, you've switched jobs, and you've just rolled it into your next 401k. If you've rolled it in, it's actually still separate. So let's just say that you actually have $50,000 that you had built up from a previous 401k, quit that job, started a new job, and then you moved it into a new one. Part of your 401k is actually rollover that you have access to. And I need you to understand this distinction, because if you have a current job, number 2, your current 401k likely has restrictions where you can't touch it. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule in about 10% of the situations. So I want you to listen carefully. If you have a 401k rollover from previous employment and you take it out, all you have to do is pay tax and penalty. The penalty is 10%. Sucks, but it's a cost of business. And tax and penalty, that's a hefty price to pay. But you need to understand that you're always going to have to pay taxes no matter what. You can't get over that. You and I, there is no age at which that goes away. There's an age at which your penalty goes away, but trying to save 10% on the penalty is not worth the opportunity cost of what you're missing out on today with today's investment choices. So a rollover is a great way to fund real estate, and I'll give you some ideas in just a second. Your current 401k, on the other hand, though, you need to talk to your HR, human resource person, and say, hey, can I pull that out? And 90% of the time, they're going to say, you can't touch that. I want you to write down these words. Can I do an in-service distribution? That's the key language. And if they say yes, it means that you actually can pull your money out, but you'd have to pay tax and penalty. Either pay the tax and penalty and get your money out in the open air where it can breathe and come off of financial life support, or you can try and put it in what's called a self-directed 401k. A self-directed 401k does not trigger paying any tax or penalty. What you're basically saying is, I no longer want you in the stock market. I want to pull you out and I want to direct where you go. And then you have limited options of where you can direct it. You could, for example, direct it into real estate, but problem is that real estate needs to, number one, it needs to be paid off. So if you're rich or you have a lot of money, this is a great option. You don't have to pay your taxes and you can put it into paid off real estate. The reason why I say paid off, or if you're rich, is because when you don't have a lot of money, guess what you need to do? You need to grow your money. And if you want to grow your money, you need to actually be able to free it. Self-directed stewards will actually tell you that you can actually take that 401k and get what's called a non-recourse loan so that you can use leverage, which means put 20% down. But I'm just telling you right now, those banks hardly exist. They are in rare form, which means that you either buy paid off real estate or you're doing the same thing you're doing up here, which is what? You're pulling it in the marketplace. For some of you, you're watching this video and you're like, Kris, that sounds like a whole lot of bad news. No, it's a frame of mind. Let me share with you the good news. The good news is you are habituated into growing your money at 3, 4, 5, 6%. And if you average it all out, it usually averages less than 5%. That's the sad news. The good news is that if you pull it out by paying your taxes, which you're always going to have to pay anyway, plus that little penalty, then your money's actually free to do something for you. I can show you, for example, how to put that in the game of real estate where you can be earning 25% a year on your money. Now that is a claim, but that's actually based on my last 4,000 home track record. And I can back that up. I can share that with you. So if you, for example, click the link below, you can actually talk to a member of my team. And what they can do is they can inform you about some of your options. I go into the very best markets nationwide. That's how I get those really high ROIs. And what I do is I have a trained team of 200 experts that will go and actually build my portfolio for me. And if you want to learn about that, if you want to learn about partnering with me or what you can do to access my inventory, all you got to do is check out that partnering page in the link below, talk to a member of my team and have them explore what your options look like. Because here's the reality. 401k, IRA, annuity, that is the financial planner's model for retirement, and it is not enough. Do the math. Pull out a calculator. You don't have to be smart at math. You just have to have made it past 3rd grade so you can do some basic addition and be like, what am I putting in every year? How's it growing? Is it going to be enough? For most of you, it's short by 80 or 90%. So we already know the answer, which means it's time to explore alternatives. Now, I might be that alternative or someone else might be, but either way, free it from the market, free it from the beast that isn't working. In the link below, I've also provided a free copy of my book. I've written 4 books. I'm a best-selling author. In this latest book, it's really short and it's all about how you can take your money from 401ks, IRAs, and make $1 million with it. So there's a lot of valuable information in there. So either get your hands on a copy of the book or talk to a member of my team and say, hey, what would it look like to access Kris and his inventory to be a part of his next 4,000 homes that he's buying? And we can give you that information and see if we've got a fit there. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it was good. I hope it was informational. I hope it answered your question. What I want you to do right now is give it a thumbs up if you liked it, share it with someone that can use it, and videos like this come out every single day from me, which means all you got to do is subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll be able to notify you what tomorrow's video is, because it's all dedicated towards you achieving financial freedom so that you can live your purpose the way God designed you to be. Take care, my friend.